There is a moment that almost no one talks about. A moment that has no name in any language you were taught in school. It does not appear in self-help books. Not really. Not the way it actually feels when it lands on your chest at 2 in the morning. It is the moment right before everything changes. And it is the most disorienting, confusing, quietly terrifying experience a human being can go through. Not because something bad is happening, but because something good is about to happen. And your entire system, every cell, every memory, every unhealed wound you thought you buried deep enough to forget, rises to the surface to ask you one final question. Are you sure? If you found this, and I mean truly found it, not stumbled across it, not scrolled past it and came back, but landed here with that strange pull in your chest, that quiet knowing that says, pay attention, this one matters, then what I am about to share with you is not information. It is recognition. You are not here to learn something new. You are here to remember something your body has been trying to tell you for weeks, maybe months, maybe longer. Something is shifting. Something is completing itself. And the very fact that everything inside you feels louder, heavier, more uncertain than it has in a long time is not a sign that you are failing. It is the signal that you are closer than you have ever been. But here is what no one tells you. The universe does not hand you your breakthrough wrapped in a bow. It hands it to you disguised as a breakdown, disguised as doubt, disguised as the worst timing imaginable, disguised as every reason you have ever collected for why this will not work, arriving all at once, stacked on top of each other, speaking in a voice that sounds exactly like wisdom, exactly like maturity, exactly like the responsible thing to do would be to stop, to pause, to reconsider, to go back to the version of your life that at least made sense, even if it was slowly killing something inside you. And that is the test. Not a test from some external force sitting in judgment, weighing your worthiness on a cosmic scale. Something far more intimate than that. Something closer than your own breath. The test is whether you can feel the fire of transformation burning through the last walls of who you used to be and stay in the room, stay present, stay committed, not to an outcome, but to the becoming itself. Let me explain what is actually happening to you right now, because once you see the architecture of this moment, you cannot unsee it. And it changes everything. You have been building something. Maybe not with your hands. Maybe not in any way that is visible to the people around you. But inside in the cathedral of your own consciousness, you have been constructing a new reality. Every prayer you whispered when no one was listening. Every visualization you held in the quiet hours. Every moment you chose to believe in something you could not yet see or touch or prove. Every time you picked yourself up off the floor of your own despair and decided again to keep going. All of that was not wasted. None of it dissolved into nothing. Every single one of those moments was a brick. And you have been building, quietly, persistently, in the dark, a structure that is now almost complete. And here is what happens when a structure is almost complete. The ground shakes, not because the building is falling, because the foundation is settling into its permanent position. Because what you have built is becoming real. And reality, true reality, the kind that rewrites timelines and shifts trajectories and opens doors that were welded shut, that kind of reality does not arrive quietly. It arrives like an earthquake, and the earthquake is not happening out there. It is happening in here, in the space between who you were and who you are becoming, in the gap between the old identity and the new one. in the silence between the last breath of your former life and the first breath of everything that comes next. So if you are shaking right now, good. If you are uncertain, good. If you woke up this morning with a heaviness in your chest that you cannot explain, a fog in your mind that was not there last week, a strange restlessness that makes you want to quit and charge forward at the same time, good. That is not dysfunction, that is labor. You are giving birth to a version of yourself that has never existed before, and birth, as anyone who has witnessed it knows, is not gentle. It is not comfortable. It is not something you can think your way through. It is something you breathe through, something you surrender into, something that demands everything you have and then asks for a little more. Let that land for a moment. Just sit with it. You are not broken. You are in labor. If this is hitting you in a way that feels different from anything else you have come across, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. This is the kind of frequency you want to keep returning to. Now let me take you deeper. Because the surface understanding of this is not enough. Knowing that you are close does not automatically stop the shaking. And I want to show you why the shaking happens in the first place. Not as a concept, but as a living process you can recognize in your own body, your own nervous system, your own quiet moments when the doubt gets so loud, it feels like the only voice in the room. There is an intelligence in you that is older than your personality, older than your name, older than every story you have ever been told about who you are and what you are capable of. This intelligence does not speak in words. It speaks in sensation, in gut feelings, in the sudden tightening of your throat when something is off, in the expansion of your chest when something is true. And this intelligence has been guiding you, sometimes gently, sometimes forcefully, toward a threshold that your conscious mind did not even know existed until you were standing right at its edge. But here is where it gets complicated. You are not one self, you are many, and I do not mean that in a fragmented or clinical way. I mean that within the ecosystem of your being, there are layers. There is the part of you that dreams, the part that plans, the part that hopes, and then there is the part that remembers every time you were hurt, every time you were rejected, every time you reached for something beautiful and had it taken away. That part is not malicious. It is not trying to sabotage you. It is trying to solve you. It learned through years of accumulated experience that wanting too much is dangerous, that visibility is dangerous, that success might mean loss, that growth might mean abandonment, that if you become the person you are meant to become, the people you love might not recognize you anymore. And so it pulls, not with logic, with feeling, with a heaviness that settles into your bones and whispers, in a voice that sounds remarkably like your own. Maybe this is not for you. Maybe you are not ready. Maybe you should wait. Maybe you should be realistic. Realistic, that word. How many dreams has that single word buried alive? How many callings have been silenced by someone, sometimes yourself, saying, "Be realistic." As if reality is a fixed thing. As if what is possible is determined by what has already happened. As if the entire history of human transformation is not a record of people doing what was considered unrealistic until they did it, and it became the new real. I want to pause here and ask you something. What is the one thing your protective self keeps telling you to be realistic about? What is the dream it keeps trying to talk you out of? drop it in the comments. Not to expose yourself, but to drag it out of the shadows and into the light, where it loses its power over you. But I want you to understand something about this protective part of you, because fighting it is not the answer. Going to war with your own shadow is like trying to outrun your own feet. Everywhere you go, there it is. And the harder you fight it, the stronger it gets, because resistance feeds it. What you push against pushes back. What you try to suppress grows roots in the dark. There was a brilliant mind who spent a lifetime studying this exact phenomenon. He called it the shadow, not because it is evil, not because it is something to be destroyed, but because it is the part of you that lives in the absence of your own light. It is everything you refused to feel, everything you were told was too much, too intense, too inappropriate, too vulnerable, too ambitious, too sensitive, too loud, too quiet, too different. All of that did not disappear when you pushed it away. It simply moved underground, into the basement of your psyche, into the body, into the tension you carry in your shoulders, into the knot in your stomach that tightens every time you are about to take a risk, into the dreams that wake you up at night with a feeling you cannot name. And here is the profound truth that changes everything once you really let it in. The shadow is not what stands between you and your breakthrough. The shadow is the breakthrough, the integration of it, the willingness to turn toward it instead of away, the courage to say, I see you. I know you are afraid. I know you are trying to protect me, and I am going to forward anyway. Not against you, with you. This is what it means to become whole, not to eliminate the darkness, but to hold it in the same hands that hold the light. Not to silence the doubt, but to let it speak, and then choose anyway. Not to pretend you are fearless, but to feel the fear fully, completely, without flinching, and to let your commitment be louder than your comfort. Pause with that for a moment. Breathe into it. Feel what it stirs. Because here is where most people turn around. Here is the centimeter, the final centimeter. Imagine someone who has been digging for years. Hands raw, knees bruised, dirt under the fingernails, every muscle aching. And they have been digging towards something they cannot see, but somehow know is there. A treasure, a diamond, a new life buried beneath the weight of everything they have endured. And they dig, and they dig, and they dig. And then, 1 centimeter from the surface of that diamond, 1 single centimeter from the moment their tool strikes something brilliant and everything changes, they stop. Not because the diamond is not there, not because the tool broke, not because they ran out of strength. They stop because a feeling floods them. A feeling that says, this is foolish. This is taking too long. Everyone else would have found it by now. Maybe there is nothing down here. Maybe you imagined the whole thing. Maybe you are the kind of person who digs forever and never finds anything. And they put the shovel down, and they walk away. 1 centimeter from everything they ever wanted. That is not a story. That is a pattern. A pattern that plays out in millions of lives every single day. Not because people are weak, not because they lack intelligence or courage or desire, but because the inner system, the ancient protective mechanism that has been running since childhood, does its job perfectly at the worst possible moment. It floods you with doubt at the exact point where doubt can do the most damage. It turns up the volume on fear precisely when you are about to step into something that would require you to update every belief you have ever held about yourself. And this is the part that I need you to hear with every fiber of your being. The intensity of the resistance is proportional to the magnitude of the breakthrough. Read that again in your mind. The bigger the thing you are about to step into, the louder the inner opposition becomes. So if you are experiencing the loudest, most convincing, most overwhelming wave of doubt, fear, confusion, and heaviness that you have felt in a long time, do not interpret that as a sign to stop. Interpret it as a sign that what is on the other side of this moment is so significant, so transformative, so real, that your old identity is throwing everything it has at you to keep you from crossing the threshold. Tell me in the comments, have you felt this lately? That strange intensity where everything seems to be falling apart and coming together at the same time. I want to hear your experience because every story shared here becomes a beacon for someone else standing at their own edge. Because the old identity knows something your conscious mind might not have fully grasped yet. It knows that once you cross, there is no going back. The person who steps through that door is not the same person who has been standing in front of it. And the old self, the familiar self, the self that has been running the show for years, sometimes decades, that self has to die. Not physically, not dramatically, but functionally. The patterns that kept you safe in a world that was too small for you, those patterns cannot survive in the world you are about to enter. The beliefs that made sense when you were just trying to get by, those beliefs are not equipped for the life that is trying to find you. The emotional habits that helped you cope with limitation, those habits become liabilities in a life of expansion. And so the old self fights, not because it is evil, because it is afraid of its own extinction, afraid of the unknown, afraid that if you change, everything changes, and there are no guarantees on the other side. And in a way, it is right. There are no guarantees. There is only the deep, bone-level knowing that you cannot stay where you are. That the cage, no matter how familiar, no matter how decorated, no matter how comfortable you have made it, is still a cage, and you were not built for cages. So what do? What do you actually do when you are standing at this threshold, and every alarm inside you is ringing, and the doubt is so thick you can taste it, and the fear is not just a thought, but a physical sensation pressing against your ribs? Here is what changes everything. And it is not what you think. You do not fight the thoughts. You cannot win a war against your own mind. You will exhaust yourself trying to control every negative thought, cancel every doubt, argue with every fear. The mind generates thousands of thoughts a day. Thousands. Many of them contradictory. Many of them meaningless. Many of them echoes of old programming that has nothing to do with your present reality. Trying to manage all of that is like trying to catch rain with your bare hands. You might grab a few drops, but the storm does not stop because you are trying. So you go deeper. Below the thoughts, below the mental chatter, below the courtroom in your head where your dreams are being put on trial by a prosecutor who sounds exactly like you. You go to the body, you go to the feeling, because here is something that most people never learn. Something that when you truly understand it, restructures your entire approach to transformation. Feelings are not a byproduct of thoughts. Feelings are the engine. Thoughts follow feelings the way iron filings follow a magnet. The electromagnetic field generated by the heart is vastly more powerful than the field generated by the brain. Not slightly more powerful, vastly. which means that the emotional frequency you are carrying in your body is not just coloring your experience. It is creating it. It is the signal you are broadcasting into the field of possibility. It is the invitation you are sending to reality itself. 1,000 affirmations cannot outrun one deep belief held in the body. You can repeat, "I am worthy," 10,000 times, but if your nervous system is locked in a state of unworthiness, if your gut clenches every time you imagine receiving what you have asked for, if your chest tightens when you picture yourself actually succeeding, then the body is sending a different signal than the mouth, and reality responds to the body. Reality responds to the frequency. Reality responds to the vibration that you are living in, not the words you are layering on top of it. This is why some people seem to move through the world with an invisible current carrying them forward. Not because they are luckier, not because they are smarter, not because the universe has favorites, but because their internal state, their emotional baseline, their felt sense of reality is coherent. Their heart and their mind and their body are telling the same story. And when that happens, when the inner signal becomes unified, doors do not just open. Doors appear where there were only souls. And this is also why some people, good people, hard-working people, people who deserve everything they are reaching for, seem to hit the same wall over and over again. Not because the universe is punishing them, but because the signal they are broadcasting from the deepest level of their being is a signal of division. One part reaching forward, another part pulling back. One part saying yes, another part screaming no. And reality, which is far more responsive to your inner state than you have been taught to believe, reads that divided signal and reflects it back as stagnation. As almost, but not quite. As close, but not there. As 1 centimeter from the diamonds, but somehow always stopping. If this idea of conscious broadcasting and frequency coherence is resonating with something deep in you, what we have touched on here only scratches the surface. My ebook, Beyond the Frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness, mastery walks you through the complete system. All 9 master frequencies, the dense transmissions, the ascending currents, and the step-by-step practices for moving from that divided signal into unified, effortless creation. It is linked in the pinned comment below. So the practice, the real practice, the one that matters more than any technique or strategy or system, is this. Tend to the feeling first. Before you make the plan, before you write the list, before you take the action, before you push through the resistance with willpower and grit, and teeth-clenched determination. Go to the feeling, not to fix it, not to force it into positivity, not to paste a smile over a scream, but to be with it, to sit with whatever is actually alive in your body right now, and let it be there without judgment, without resistance, without the need to make it something other than what it is. Because here is the paradox that the mind will never understand, but the heart knows instinctively. The moment you stop fighting a feeling, it begins to move. The moment you stop resisting the fear, it loses its grip. The moment you stop trying to outrun the doubt, and instead turn toward it with the quiet presence of someone who is no longer afraid of their own inner weather, something shifts. Not dramatically, not with fireworks, but with a subtle, unmistakable settling. Like a body of water that has been churning for days, finally beginning to still. And in that stillness, clarity arrives. Not the clarity of the mind, which is always conditional and temporary, the clarity of the being. The deep, wordless knowing that says you are on the right path. Keep going. Try something with me right now. Not as an exercise, not as a technique, as an experiment in your own consciousness. Close your eyes if you can. If you cannot, soften your gaze. Let the world become slightly blurred at the edges, and take one breath. Not a performance breath, not a deep dramatic inhale meant to prove something. A real breath. The kind your body takes when it finally feels safe enough to exhale fully. Let the air come in without effort. Let it fill whatever space is available, and then let it go. Completely. Without holding on to any of it. Now ask your body a question. Not your mind. Your body, what would it feel like just for 10 seconds to be well? Not to have everything figured out. Not to have the answers. Not to be at the finish line. Just to be well. Right here, right now. For 10 seconds. What would that feel like in your shoulders? In your jaw? In the space behind your eyes? In the center of your chest? You might feel a softening, a tiny release, a warmth, or you might feel resistance, a tightening that says, I cannot relax, there is too much at stake. And if that is what comes, let that be there too. Do not fight it. Just notice it. Just witness it. Because even the act of witnessing, even the simple act of turning your attention toward what is happening inside you without trying to change it, is a revolutionary act. It is the act of presence. And presence is the frequency that dissolves the shadow, not by destroying it, by illuminating it, by removing the darkness not through force, but through the simple introduction of light. And when you do this, when you create even a small pocket of coherence in your emotional field, something remarkable happens. The thoughts begin to shift on their own. Not because you forced them, not because you argued with them, but because the magnetic center of your being has moved, and the thoughts, like iron filings, rearrange themselves around the new center. The fearful thoughts do not disappear entirely, but they lose their authority. They become background noise instead of the commanding voice. They become weather instead of climate. And in that space, in that small but profound shift from being controlled by your thoughts to being the awareness that holds your thoughts, you find something you may not have felt in a long time. Freedom. Not freedom from difficulty, freedom within it. This is the alchemy, not the dramatic, mystical, otherworldly kind, the real kind, the kind that happens in the quiet moments when no one is watching, the kind that happens when you choose, again, to steady your heart instead of obeying your panic, the kind that happens when you put your hand on your own chest and say to yourself, with the tenderness you would offer a frightened child, I know this is hard. I know you are scared, and we are going to keep going. Because here is what I need you to understand about this moment you are in. The universe, reality, the field, consciousness, whatever word you use for the intelligence that orchestrates the unfolding of all things, it is not working against you. It is working through you. And the discomfort you are feeling is not a punishment. It is a recalibration. Your system is being upgraded. Your frequency is being tuned. Your capacity to hold more, to receive more, to become more, is being expanded. And expansion, real expansion, does not feel like floating on a cloud. It feels like being stretched. It feels like growing pains. It feels like the shell cracking open because what is inside has become too large to be contained. Think about what happens in nature. A seed does not become a tree by staying comfortable. It splits open. It breaks apart. It pushes through dirt and darkness and resistance. And it does not know, it cannot know what the sunlight will look like until it reaches the surface. But something in it moves toward the light anyway. Something in it trusts the process even without evidence. Something in it knows at the level of its deepest coding that the breaking is not the end. The breaking is the beginning. You are that seed, and the dirt you are pushing through right now. The heaviness, the doubt, the fear, the confusion, the sleepless nights, the moments of wondering if any of this is real. That is not the universe burying you. That is the universe planting you. Let that sink in. You are not being buried. You are being planted. And there is a difference so vast between those two things that once you see it, once you really let it land in your body, the entire experience transforms. The same pressure that felt like punishment begins to feel like purpose. The same darkness that felt like abandonment begins to feel like gestation. The same silence that felt like the absence of an answer begins to feel like the presence of something so large it cannot fit into words. And this is where I want to speak to something that you may have noticed but not fully understood. The timing. The strange, almost eerie timing of certain things in your life recently. Conversations that seemed to carry a message meant specifically for you. Songs that played at the exact moment you needed to hear those words. Strangers who said something in passing that landed like a revelation. This video appearing in your feed at this exact moment in your journey. These are not coincidences. Not because the universe is a cosmic vending machine dispensing signs on demand, but because when you are at the threshold, when your frequency is shifting, when the old is dying and the new is being born, your perception changes. You begin to notice what was always there, but hidden beneath the noise of the old frequency. You begin to see the patterns that connect everything. You begin to hear the whisper that has been speaking your entire life but was drowned out by the volume of your fear. And that whisper is saying something very simple, something so simple that the mind dismisses it as too easy, too naive, too unscientific. The whisper is saying, keep going. Not keep going because it will be easy. Not keep going because there will be no more pain. Not keep going because you have earned a reward. Keep going because you are becoming who you actually are. And the world needs that person. Not the performance. Not the mask. Not the carefully curated version of you that knows how to smile when it is breaking. The real one. The one that has been buried under years of conditioning and compromise and playing small to make other people comfortable. That one. The world is waiting for that one. And you can feel it, can you not? Beneath the doubt, beneath the fear, beneath the noise. There is a part of you that knows, a part that has always known, a part that chose this path before your conscious mind could even comprehend what it was choosing. And that part is not afraid. That part is not uncertain. That part is patient and vast and ancient, and it has been waiting with infinite tenderness for you to arrive at exactly this moment. This moment where the old world is crumbling and the new world has not yet fully formed, and you are suspended in the space between, which is the most creative, the most powerful, the most sacred space a human being can occupy. The space between. Most people run from it. Most people fill it with noise and distraction and busyness and other people's opinions and endless scrolling and anything at all to avoid the raw vulnerability of not knowing. But you are still here. You are still reading. You are still listening. You are still breathing. And that tells me something about you that you may not yet fully believe about yourself. You have the capacity for this. You were built for this threshold. Not everyone is. Not everyone will reach this point. Not because they are lesser, but because their path is different. Your path brought you here, to this edge, to this precipice, to this 1 centimeter that separates everything you have been from everything you are about to become. Consider listening to this again tomorrow morning before the world gets loud, before the old patterns have a chance to reassemble. Let these words settle into your nervous system like a new instruction set. And if there is someone in your life who is going through their own threshold right now, send this to them. When you share something that carries this frequency, you create a ripple in the field that amplifies the transformation for both of you, reinforcing your own shift while opening a doorway for theirs. So let me tell you what to do with this moment. Not in theory, in practice, in the lived, breathing, embodied reality of your actual life. Guard your feeling, not your thoughts. Your feeling. Treat your emotional state like the most precious thing you carry, because it is. It is the lens through which you see everything. It is the frequency that determines what you attract and what you repel. It is the soil in which your next chapter will either take root or wither, and soil must be tended, not once, daily, moment by moment. Watch what you allow into your field, not with paranoia, with discernment. Notice which environments drain you and which ones fill you. Notice which conversations leave you feeling expanded and which ones leave you feeling contracted. Notice which inputs, which voices, which energies, which spaces make your heart soften, and which ones make it armor up. And then, without judgment, without drama, without explanation, choose accordingly. You do not owe anyone access to your inner world. You do not owe anyone the right to pour their heaviness into your field when you are in the most critical phase of your transformation. This is not selfishness. This is stewardship. This is the sacred responsibility of someone who is becoming something new. And then, from that place of tended feeling, from that place of guarded frequency, from that place of inner coherence where your heart and your intention are aligned, take the next step. Not the whole staircase. The next step. Write the message you have been avoiding. Make the call that scares you. Publish the thing you have been hiding. Apply for the opportunity your shadow says you do not deserve. Start the project your fear says is too late for. Continue the journey your doubt says is going nowhere. Do not wait to feel ready. Readiness is not a feeling that arrives before the action. Readiness is something that is forged in the action itself. You become ready by moving. You become confident by doing the thing that terrifies you and surviving it. You become the person who can hold the breakthrough by walking toward it with shaking hands and a steady heart. And here is the final thing I want to leave you with. The thing that ties all of this together into something you can carry with you when this video ends and the real work begins. You are not alone in this. I do not mean that in a sentimental way. I mean it in the most literal, most fundamental, most quantum way possible. The field of consciousness that you exist within is not indifferent to your transformation. It is invested in it. Not because you are special in the way the ego wants to be special, singled out, chosen, elevated above others, but because you are a node in an infinite network of awareness. And when one node shifts, the entire network reconfigures. Your transformation is not just about you. it never was. Every time you choose courage over comfort, every time you stay at the threshold instead of retreating, every time you tend your inner fire instead of letting it die, you are not just changing your own life. You are changing the field. You are creating a pathway that makes it easier for the next person to find their way through. You are lighting a torch in the darkness that someone you will never meet will follow home. That is why this matters. That is why the resistance is so fierce. That is why the shadow throws everything it has at you right before the breakthrough. Because the breakthrough is not just personal, it is collective, it is evolutionary. It is the universe becoming more conscious of itself through the vehicle of your courage. So do not turn around. Do not put the shovel down. Do not let the voice that says you cannot do this be louder than the knowing that says you already are. You are not 1 centimeter from failure. You are 1 centimeter from diamonds. And the only thing between you and everything you have been building toward is one more breath, one more choice, one more moment of staying with your own heart when every alarm in your system is telling you to run. Breathe. Steady the feeling. Let the shoulders drop. Let the jaw soften. Let the heart open 1 more millimeter, and then dig. Not because you can see the diamonds yet, but because something in you, something deeper than thought, deeper than fear, deeper than the shadow itself knows they are there, has always known they are there, and has brought you to this exact moment, this exact breath, this exact threshold, so that you could finally reach them. If this resonated with something real inside you, if you felt it not just in your mind, but in your body, leave 1 word in the comments. Just 1 word that captures what this stirred in you. Not for anyone else, for you, as a marker, as a timestamp on your transformation, so that when you look back, and you will look back, you will remember this was the moment you chose to keep going. Subscribe if you want to stay in this frequency. Share this with someone who is at their own edge right now and needs to hear that the shaking is not a sign of collapse, but a sign of emergence. And come back. Because this is not a single conversation. This is a continuing deepening, a spiral that takes you closer to the center of who you actually are with every turn. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not being punished. You are being revealed. Layer by layer. Breath by breath. 1 centimeter at a time. And the fact that you are still here, still listening, still breathing, still choosing, tells me everything I need to know about what is coming for you. Keep going. The diamonds are right there. And you magnificent, terrified, courageous, trembling, unstoppable force of becoming, you are ready. Not because you feel ready, because you are still here. And that has always been enough. Now, if you are ready to understand the deeper mechanism behind everything we just explored, go watch Your Identity Creates Reality, Not Your Desire. It reveals why the identity shift happening inside you right now is the actual force reshaping your external world, and it will show you how to anchor this transformation permanently.